Alrighty then, folks. We are back with some more Super Robot Wars 5 or V. I'm still not sure what that is, but you might be wondering, had I actually played this before? I in fact did, except for I was stupid and forgot to. Well, alrighty then, folks. We are back with some more Super Robot Wars V, which might be surprising to some of you, though. I think it got about 100 views in like the hour or so it was up before I ended up deleting it. But yeah, this is Super Robot Wars V. I'm assuming it's V, not 5, because in the previous games, they went with, like, a character after it, so there was, like, R and Z, and I think S even? But, you know, and there was J as well. I played J. But yeah, so I'm assuming it's V, not 5, but it might actually be 5. I'm not sure. But anyway, I have in fact played this before. I did the first level, well, I actually did the first 3 levels, I think? I did something like that. But I recorded a couple of episodes, and on the first episode, had the literal entire fucking game spoiled to me within about 25 minutes, which was really dumb. And it actually almost got me to not play the rest of this game. But I decided, you know, with a wee bit of alcohol involved, to play it again, because why not? You know, I might still enjoy the game, even though I know exactly what's going to happen. You know, it's only been out for 5 days. Sorry, my cat really wants to go out, but it's like freezing outside, so that's not happening. But anyway, let us begin. So the reason we're on the main menu, not actually in the game, is there's music in the opening, not the opening cutscene, but the opening menu. I don't even think there's an opening cutscene. But in the opening menu, it starts singing, so I'm gonna have to go through it real quick. You'll notice this in a second, but I haven't looked at the character list from this game, or at least the, what series are in this game, because I didn't want to ruin the story for me. Doesn't matter anymore. And also, before I forget, if anyone else posts spoilers in the comment section, I'm deleting you and blocking you. I don't care. Like, this is fucking bullshit. You know, this is a story-driven game. Let people enjoy it. Like, I know you guys have fun doing it, but what the fuck, man? Other people might like it. Anyway, from what... There's Mazinger in there, there's Zeta, there's CCA, there's Full Metal Planet, there's Space Battleship Yamato, there's Nadesco, Evangelion, and a couple others I don't actually remember or don't know. When I get to them, I'll either point them out if I remember, or I'll be completely confused, and it'll be fine. But, you know, whatever. So, let us begin. Right, I click circle, but I have to click X to start it, and then circle. Confusing. Yeah, so this game's been out for, like, I don't know, a week now, as of recording this. I think it came out on Tuesday. And I've already had the whole goddamn thing spoiled to me. Like, it's stupid. I actually wanted to enjoy it. Yeah, there's Full Metal Panic in this. There's some other stuff that I can't recall. But as soon as I click this button, like, it's completely silent here. But there's going to be singing as soon as I do it. Yeah, no idea why that happens, but... Anyway, so we're starting a new game. But anyway, we have the choice between beginner mode, which you don't actually have to do any of the special objectives. You just get stuff for winning. Like, I don't see the point in that. I guess it's true, and it's, you know, recommended for players who don't want any difficulty. Yeah. We're going to be doing standard mode. There's also guidance mode, which is a tutorial. But most of it is like, hey, click this button to move, this button to attack. These are what squares are. It's on a grid. Surprising. And then there's standard mode, which is the normal thing. We're going to be playing this, because this is more fun. And we had the choice between the two main characters, this guy from the moon who somehow got sunburned while in a spacesuit. I'm not exactly sure. Or her, who's the positive rookie who never loses hope. In the first, like, beginning, they didn't really explain anything besides she's not a good pilot. But, you know, her stat-wise, I'm pretty sure they're exactly the same, so it doesn't matter. We're going with her because we went with her last time. So they have the birth date and the blood type. I don't know if this actually affects stats or not. I haven't actually checked yet, but I don't care. I'm just gonna leave it as it is. We're also leaving the name because I also don't care. Yeah, this is Chitose, Kisaragi Chitose. Both of them pilot the same mobile suit, which I can't remember what its name is, or mobile weapon, whatever they call it. This game's kind of weird, is they call it mobile weapons and mobile suits almost interchangeably. Which, I guess that works. Also, the background music for you guys will be really quiet because there's no options menu in the beginning. You have to finish the first stage to get to an options menu, which is dumb. But I'll deal with that later. Anyway, we are going to begin. Oh, I won't be reading out the dialogue. You guys can either read it yourself or skip through it, but I'll try to go through it semi-fast, except for this point. You guys can read it yourself. And no, that's not 99% of the fleet. You've only had 8 units, so it's like 87.5. So you have 2 left, so... Or, is it actually 85? Because wouldn't that be 12 each? 12.5 each, anyway. I think it would be. Yeah, it would be 12.5 each, so it's like 85, or like 75% of the fleet. I can count. We're at Pluto right now. I'm not sure how they're gonna fly by, how they're gonna fly by Venus, but not hit Mars, because they're mostly in line, aren't they? Well, not in line, but like. Unless they're going around the long way of the sun, which, I mean, like, you go directly to Mars, for that matter. Yeah, he's gonna heroically cover the escape while the old battle-hardened veterans get away, you know. Totally not the Kisaragi or anything. Not Kisaragi, fuck. That's what's-her-face's name, It's Mizugi Maru, I think the ship was? It was one of the ships in World War II. I can't remember the name. But I think this is one of the first animes to actually feature that kind of thing. That happens all the time now. By the way, Yukikaze, which is the name of the ship, is Warm Wind. Or, like, Hot Wind. But it can also mean something like Iron Wind or whatever. So, if you guys don't know, that was the main character from Battleship Yamato's brother. We're about to encounter him as well on Mars. I don't really tell you when we go to Earth, but I'll explain that a little bit later. That was his brother, and basically he's going to get captured by the Cybermen, and then he's going to get brainwashed and either turned into a pirate like one of the previous games, or he's going to be put on a prison ship, the ship will get shot down, and we'll meet him again near the alien planet. But in the original script for it, he gets captured by the aliens and then brainwashed and made into a pirate who is supposed to take down Yamato, but he somehow meets Kodai again, which I always thought Kodai was a redhead, but this is the main character from Battleship Yamato. I referenced it in the last one, but apparently people didn't know about it. But yeah, so he gets picked up by the aliens and made into the space pirate. I think Nathaniel Hawthorne was his name. That's also a real pirate, so I might be getting those mixed up. And I've always wanted a Super Robot Wars game to do that, because they'll do shit like that like they did with Zeta. Or, not Zeta, Destiny. Sorry, I get them mixed up all the time. And this is the new correct century, so it's the century after Turn A. Just so you know. So yeah, they have the 1-year war all the way through Char's Rebellion in this, and yet their mobile suit technology is like really weak, so I have to assume they just fought it with spaceships. Except for a little bit later they'll mention that they haven't had spaceships very long either. So I don't know what that's about. Oh, also this mentions the Jupiter Empire. Somebody made shit because I thought the Jovians and the Jupiter Empire were the same people. I want you guys to look up the word Jovian. It means people from Jupiter. It's based off of the Roman god of Jove. It's also the root word of jovial. Get over yourself. But yeah, so in this world, the huge-ass war... Oh, and that's actually the Earth. They don't tell you that. We're just on Mars, and then they show you this. That is why I got confused originally. It's like the landscapes look exactly the same. And plus, you know, with Iron-Blooded Orphans, you can kind of expect that to happen. But, so they've had this, like, long history of war, except for, you know, these extra-dimensional aliens caught them off guard. I don't know how that works, but it does. Like, you know that fleet we just saw get destroyed? That was Earth's only fleet. And they're not even, like, pulling up old mobile suits to fight, or at least I haven't got to the point where that's happening. Most of the ones we get to use in the beginning are, like, prototypes. But yeah, the UV rays were pretty intense in space. Like, dude has cancer, and he's gonna get it, like, next week. Fucking hell, man. They're talking about how big the ensign thing is. I was a lieutenant at 17. I mean, like, it's not hard. I literally went to school and was like, yeah, I'll RTC. Why not? Oh, you'll pay my college tuition? Awesome. Never happened, though. They only paid like a third of it. Sucked, and I'm still paying it off. Also, did you guys also see his, like, his sprite flicker? That happens literally every time I start this game. Like, it happens occasionally too, like, there'll just be some effect and then the sprite will flicker. I have no idea why it does this. Like, I have to imagine they unloaded it for the effect to take place, but then the character on the right didn't. So it has to just be a bug that no one noticed. But that would get picked up by quality control so early. Oh, and by the way, this is the actual battleship Yamato, built underneath one of the World War II battleships. We're near, where is it, Coral Sea, I think? But the reason why I thought this was originally the battleship Yamato got shot down and they're rebuilding it is the giant fucking jet engines. Like, explain what that is, because if you look at that, even by the perspective, the gun turret in the back is I think 11.5 feet long. If you look at it, the jet engine is bigger than that. That means it's a bore that's bigger than 11 feet, which is like 3.3 meters or so, maybe 3.4. That's a really big gun, and I have no idea what the perspective shot on that is. Oh, also, when I address the enemy, I'm occasionally going to call them Gamera, because in the original 1979 version, in the Japanese, it's actually Gamera. I don't know where Gamillions came from. Supposedly, it's the English dub that they just, like, took on for the new series. Or, well, one of the English dubs, but I don't know where it came from. So I'm going to call them Gamera, just ignore it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Yamato was shot down in Coral Sea, wasn't it? The super battleship? Or was that, Amagi? Might have been Amagi. Oh, and by the way, the planet bomb is actually a radioactive meteorite. I don't know, they call it the planet bomb. That might just be the, like, colloquial way to refer to it. I don't know. But yeah, we're in Fallout world. I also gotta love the, like, 6 white dots. So there's, like, 6 suns. But yeah, if the seas actually did dry up, like, we'd get super high UV rays, like, all the time. Oh, by the way, the first guy is the main character to Battleship Yamada. That guy on the left is the best friend, who I think is Gunnery Sergeant, or in charge of Gunnery. I don't remember who he is. I think he's the cook. It's either the cook or the nurse. It's been a while, and I haven't actually watched the new one yet. I plan to one of these days, but it's really expensive. It's like $50. And yeah, your brother died in vain, because he's totally not dead. I believe this is the girl your brother originally dated, but I'm not sure. Or married. It might have been the other queen. I'm still, like, they all look the same, and I'm not sure. And yeah, Sasha was the dead one from before. Yeah, so the wave motion engine basically is an unlimited power supply that's boosted off of, like, air or something like that. And it can generate as much energy as you need it to. Also provides this thing called the barrier, which takes all damage that's 2,500 or less than 2,500 and makes it 0, which is really nice. Because a lot of the enemies don't do that much damage, though capital ships in this game are pretty squishy. Which is kind of nice, actually. I don't think they heal themselves every turn either. I know you can move some units into them in the previous games and heal over time, but it's only like 10% or something like that. Unless you get certain abilities which allow for more. Yeah, so why didn't they just refit one of their other ships to have the engine? Why did they need to rebuild a World War II battleship that's been, you know, underwater for 200 years? Well, for 190 years or whatever it is. And she said pegged. Yeah, you know, she's the rookie who... Yeah, she's the rookie. She doesn't feel like she's worth anything, so, you know, she's gonna stumble into a giant robot. It's gonna happen. Oh, and weirdly enough, if you play it on the other guy's story, the chapter names are different, but for the most part, they're exactly the same. I only played the first 2 levels, so I don't know the real difference between them. Beyond that, anyway. The actual first story might be different, because that's a casual thing in Super Robot Wars games, is the first, depending on what character you pick, depends on the first route you do, but generally you meet up with the other characters by maybe the end of episode 10, or mission 10. So this game's like 50 missions long or something like that. They usually are. Oh, I will totally needlessly sacrifice you if I need to. And I have no idea why a ship would need accounting. I mean, like, logistics maybe, but not accounting. Oh, and by the way, this is Yukimori, or Mori, apparently. I always thought it was Yukimori, like one name. This is the main love interest. Apparently in the more recent one, they kind of had an Ichi thing with her and the robot. Didn't know that. Had to look that up, but yeah, that's the main heroine. Well, at least of the main, of Battleship Yamato. I don't know how it'll be in this game. To be honest, after you get through their story usually, which is like 4 or 5 levels with them, they kind of just fade into the background and nothing really happens with them. Unless they're Gundam characters, then they actually do something. Oh, by the way, he just totally deflected the question. Good job, Commander. That's what your commanders are for, lying to you. Also, the main character doesn't think he's qualified, but then he's overqualified. Who would have guessed? Oh, and I'm not sure what position Yukimori is in. I think she's like operator, but then I know later on in the series she's also doing stuff a logistics officer would do. Like she helps them find food and shit. Like, so I'm not sure what position she actually is. I could look it up, but I forgot, to be honest. It's called a robot, mate. I'm surprised they know to, like, go attack here. Because they haven't really turned on the wave motion engine, so how would they know they were there besides a large amount of energy? Or did they just randomly decide to attack this place today? What, there's a hangar here? Who would have guessed? Hey, wait, they have the G Falcon here? That's the extra weapon system from X Gundam. Or Gundam X, that's what it's called. Yeah, so originally I thought this thing would be built using reverse engineered Gabillion technology. Apparently it isn't. It's just, you know, a bunch of parts from other mobile suits stuck together for some reason. Or mobile weapons, whatever. Oh, hey, after we finish up this battle, there's going to be a cutscene that's pretty cool with them, like the Yamato coming out and firing at the enemy. But Bandai used it in the trailer, so I'm going to have to take it out. Yeah, so we have to defeat all enemies, we can't die. It's not that hard. But we have to use all weapons equipped to the Vagray. The Vandray? Vagray. Whatever you want. The Amuro Ray is what we're calling it now, damn it. Yeah, so we have to use every weapon, which... Sadly, you can't click Y on a unit in this one. So yeah, we have 3 weapons. We have the Railgun Gecko, the Particle Cannon Senpu, and the Turret Jinrai. God, I'm glad I don't have to translate that. That would be so bad. But there's 4 enemies here, so it's not actually that hard to do. One of the weird things about this unit, though, and you can do it in some other units, but not with this one right now, you can't move and attack. I don't know if it's just this mission or with other missions, too. I haven't experimented that far. But what we're going to do is we're moving just close enough to where the far-away enemies will long-range attack us, and then the close-up guys will short-range attack us so we can use all our weapons. Though 2 of our attacks won't kill them on the first turn, so we kind of have to be careful. But these things are just, like, weird fighter jets piloted by old Japanese men. And yeah, it does this before the battle, and I really thought I skipped the cutscene beforehand. Because, like, SD Gundam would do this after, but it does it beforehand. Like, it just pulls you straight out. It's really weird. Okay, so they mentioned a self-repair module earlier. I have yet to actually get hit, so I'm not sure if it works or not. Only our really long-range attack one-shots them. Which shouldn't be a big deal. They'll come and kill themselves, yeah. I think we just saw this one, though. Oh no, that one's slightly different. So we've done 2 of our attacks. And that one critical. I think by default you have something like a 10 or an 8% chance to critical. But it's basically the same as every other game. The higher one of your skills is, the higher you have the chance to critical. Well, they didn't shoot me, damn it. Alright, so we're gonna use the long-range attack, which is this one. Or, I think this is the one we haven't used. If not, we'll use the other one later. I wasn't actually paying attention to what attacks we used. Oh no, we've used that one before. My bad. We'll use the other one later. Yeah, so this game also doesn't end the turn after you run out of units to use, which I do love that. Like, I really hate it when it ends, like, as soon as... Yeah, if you want to change attacks, you click R1 or L1. It took me a little while to figure that out. That's really confusing. Yeah, so that was our final attack. I always approve of tactical use of nuclear weapons, however. Yeah, we leveled up. It doesn't tell you what our stats were beforehand, which I don't really like, but that is what it is. Yeah, we got 1 point. I'm going to try and get every single point, so yeah. Usually that means that you can have a separate or different stuff happen to you. Good, turn the battle off for this one because we've already seen it. But usually that means you take a different route if you get all of the points versus if you only get a certain amount. I know in Alpha Gaiden you needed, I think, 20. It was either 29 or 28 to get the best route in the ending, so I'm gonna just try to get them all. Unless it's something really stupid like, you know, end the battle in 2 turns and you only get 1 unit. Because that's just RNG based, and I'll retry it a couple of times, but I won't do it like 100 times kind of thing. So yeah, cutscene's about to come up and it's going to be silent. I do apologize for that, but I don't need another claim. If I get another claim, I can't post videos longer than 15 minutes. And even if these are kind of short, like, that's still an issue. Oh, best part about that is a piloted bomb. I find it ironic that a Japanese battleship is shooting down a piloted bomb. This game also does something I really hate. They don't outline their characters. And what I mean is, at the bottom when the text is written, notice when the screen flashed white, the text disappeared? It's because they didn't outline the text. It's not hard. It's really easy to do, in fact. It's Visual Design 101. It's so you can actually read it when there's contrasting backgrounds, contrastment on the background. Yeah, it's not hard to do, Sunrise. Just do it. Like, you did it in your earlier games, but you never do it in these ones, and I have no idea why. Alright, notice how this is actually us getting orders. We don't know from who, but this is like actual legit orders. Assuming the mobile suit keeps logs of this, like, this whole next scene would be ridiculous. I really like this background song. Yeah, and then it's that guy who broke onto the ship for, you know, protagonist reasons. As I originally thought he would be the main interest, or the main love interest, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna fade in the background in about 30 minutes. She has orders and she hasn't had time to report to the senior officer. You're actually delaying ship business, and thus you're breaking the rules. Yeah, she's literally just following orders. Like, not even the, like, oh, I'm just following orders because I don't want to get in trouble. She's literally following orders. Oh, and I also have the DLC installed. I didn't know we'll play this again. Yeah. But anyway, folks, that was that. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't. We're gonna bump that up. We're gonna bump that down a little bit. We're gonna bump that most of the way down. Okay, and that's all. Yeah. But anyway, folks, if you enjoyed the episode, you should like it. If you didn't, well, go watch somebody fucking else. I don't give a damn. No spoilers. If you post spoilers, I'm going to ban your ass, and I'm not even gonna shadow ban you. I'm gonna legit ban you. Have fun. Good night.